Hey everybody, my name's Ryan, and here at eTrailer we install, test fit, and review a lot of different parts. That way we could try to answer any questions those of you might have. And that's exactly what we're doing here today on our 2020 GMC Sierra 2500. We're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the TorkLift frame-mounted camper tie-downs for the front. So something I want to mention right off the bat, in order to properly secure your in-bed camper down completely, you are also going to need a set of these for the rear. With that being said, you can pick them up individually or as a complete kit. And you can find all those products right here at eTrailer. So this is going to be a really dependable and convenient way to secure down the front of your in-bed camper. Since these mount directly to the frame, you know they're going to be heavy duty and very solid, which is definitely important. And not to mention, they're going to be easy to get to whenever you are ready to hook up your turnbuckles to them. Everything's relatively open and shouldn't really fight you a whole lot whenever you're ready to do that. Now, if you need some turnbuckles, the ones that I suggest and I really like are the Fast Guns by TorkLift. They're designed to pretty much work perfectly with this setup, and it really does make life really easy. Now, for those of you that are wondering, how far out does this come from our truck? In our case, I'm just going to measure from the end of it to the step here that's on our bed. And with it like this, looks like it's going to be about 2 3/4 of an inch. Now, if you need it to come out further, we can accomplish that by coming to this pin and clip. If you pull it out, and if you pull this out, you can actually see that there is another hole there. So what we can do is use that hole, reinstall that pin and clip, and that'll give us quite a bit more space here. So with it like this, go from the step on our bed to the very edge. Looks like it's going to be about 6 3/4 of an inch. Now, something that's pretty neat too, whenever you're not using your in-bed camper, you can leave these in there, which is perfectly fine, or you can completely remove them, and that's definitely what I would do. So if you pull out that pin, you can remove this whole thing, and then you can put it in your back seat, in your garage, whatever the case may be. And with it like this, you're not going to have to worry about anything coming out past the truck. And not to mention, I think it looks great too. Unless you're really down low on the ground and looking for this, you're never going to be able to see that receiver. So it really does do a great job of kind of maintaining our truck's factory appearance. Now, one thing I really do like about the TorkLift is the overall quality of construction. These things are really nice actually. Once you kind of get them in your hand, you can tell everything's straight, nice and thick steel. Even all the welds are really clean, so you know you can rely on this and it should last a long time. And even down to just the overall finish. It almost has a textured, almost like a hammer tone type powder coat finish. It's really thick and should stay in good shape. You shouldn't have to worry about these things rusting out or getting too beat up over time. So at the end of the day, you really can't go wrong with these tie downs. It's just a surefire way to know that your camper will be secure. Now, as far as the installation goes, it's actually pretty simple. It utilizes one factory bolt that you can easily get to and take out, and it also utilizes 2 factory holes in your frame rail, so you're not going to have to worry about drilling anything out or cutting anything up. And because of that, it shouldn't take you a whole lot of time. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and put them on together now. To begin our installation, we're going to be on our driver's side, and we're going to need to locate one of our factory bed bolts. And that's going to be in this area right here, just behind our cab. So this is the bolt that we're looking for right here. And we're going to remove it using a 18mm socket. And once we have it removed, you want to make sure and hold on to it because we will be reinstalling it later. Now we can go ahead and get our hardware ready for one of our attachment points. That attachment point is going to be this oval shaped hole right here. And what we're going to do is take this 2-inch bolt, a star washer will go over it, and then you're going to grab one of these spacer blocks, put that on as well. Then we can grab our pull wire and take the coiled end of it and thread it onto that bolt. Then we can feed our hardware inside of the frame rail through that opening there. I'm going to pull on your fish wire and keep it in this position right here. Then what we can do is grab this large plate style spacer, run that through our fish wire, and put it over the bolt there. So that's going to sit against our frame rail just like that. Then what we can do is go ahead and grab our tie-down receiver. Now these are side specific, so make sure you check the instructions, make sure you have the right one. And the way this is going to work is our fish wire is going to get fed through this hole here. And we can grab this and lift it up into position. Now that we have it like that, what I'm going to do is pull that bolt out as far as we can. And I'm trying to get a little bit of pressure on it. That way I can remove our pull wire. Once that's removed, you're going to carefully take a flat washer, a split lock washer, and a nut, and get this started hand tight. So now what we can do, if you see this hole here, you kind of lift up a little bit. That's actually going to line up with a factory hole in the frame. So you're going to line that up, and take the coiled end of your fish wire and push it through. When we have this out, what you're going to do is take the shorter bolt, the star washer, thread that on. We're going to pull on it to get our bolt to pass through. Again, we'll carefully remove our pull wire. And then we'll just take a flat washer, split lock washer, and a hex nut, and get this started hand tight as well. And then what we can do is grab our factory bolt that we removed earlier. This is going to run up and get pushed through our tie down and go back into the bottom of our bed. These can be a little tricky to line up. Just make sure you got it going nice and straight. And once you do, we're just going to get this hand tight. So now that we have all of our hardware in place and hand tight, we'll come back with a socket and just snug everything down. So once all the hardware is snug, you need to make sure to come back with a torque wrench and tighten it all down to the amount specified in our instructions. And if you plan on keeping your actual tie downs installed all the time, you can simply just slide this in and take the pin and secure it that way. Now with that being said, the other side of the truck will be set up the exact same way. So you're simply just going to repeat the same process over there. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the TorkLift frame-mounted camper tie-downs for the front on our 2020 GMC Sierra 2500.